great Valentine's Day fragrance choices. For the record, for those of you that do this, whether it's intentional or by accident, it's not Valentines with an M. It's Valentine's Day. I got you covered. Some great Valentine's Day fragrances. Let's get into it. What's good, YouTube? It's your guy, the BowTie fragrance guy. That is, and I talk about fragrances on my channel. I also throw in some style and grooming content. If you're into that, hit subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications by hitting the bell icon as well, so anytime a new video gets uploaded, you get notified. Guys, I'm going to jump into talking about some amazing, great Valentine's Day fragrance options for this year. If you've never seen one of my Valentine's Day fragrance videos, just so you know really quickly, when I think about a great Valentine's Day scent, I think about, well, what are some elements that normally, kind of make up a great Valentine's Day? Dinner, roses, chocolate, strawberries, cherries, honey, you know what I mean? You know, all my real players out there know what I'm talking about. Those things usually make for a great Valentine's Day night or evening. So those are the type of scents that I like to talk about and that I feel are great for Valentine's Day. Fragrances that have those notes in the fragrances. So they're very sexy and very appropriate for the Valentine's Day, I guess you want to call it holiday, if you will. So we're going to run the intro, and when I come back, I got, really I think it's 11 great options because one is kind of a bonus. So if you want to see what's on the list, you know how we rock, man. Keep it locked right here. Let's get it.
The BowTie Fragrance Guy.
All right, guys, we're back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. We're going to jump into the video. Of course, really quickly, I'm reminding you guys to purchase the Gentleman's Blueprint. I got a lot of great information that I'm sharing with you guys on how to be the best modern day gentleman that you can. And it expands outside of fragrance and fashion. That's primarily what I talk about. But I jump into a lot of other things in the ebook, like mindset, and some encouraging things are in there, I think, in there as well to help guys strive for, you know, those goals that you have. Sometimes, you know, we have goals, but they just remain thoughts. And sometimes we need a little bit of extra push and motivation, man, to get out there and just freaking do it. So if that sounds like you, I think you get benefit from the ebook. So click the link down below and make sure you grab your copy of the Gentleman's Blueprint. It's only $9, fellas. So support the channel. Make sure you do that. And you have a chance to win some really cool gifts, like a 5ml decant of pretty much any fragrance in my collection. I am starting now to put Mokus off limits because I can't really find that one else. But other than that, pretty much any other fragrance in my collection, a 5ml decant of that. So if you're chosen as a winner for purchasing the ebook. So click the link, purchase the ebook. All right, so let's jump into it, man. Where do we want to start? We're going to start with a fragrance that contains a very animalic honey note. Honey is really sexy. And like I said, man, what's understood doesn't need to be said, but a lot of my players out there know a nice evening, sometimes honey is involved. That's all I'm saying. And this fragrance is really sexy from the brand of By Kilian. This is called Back to Black. Back to Black. Honey, tobacco, saffron, and patchouli are the main notes. You really get a lot of that honey and a lot of that patchouli, but honey is the main note. So I think this is like the perfect fragrance to wear on a sexy date night, like a Valentine's Day night. No matter where you're going, I think this particular fragrance will work because it just kind of screams sensuality and sex appeal. And those are kind of fragrances, in my opinion, that you want to wear on a day like Valentine's Day. That's all about love, being in love, love making, and all those good things. I was going to do Noir Aphrodisiac, which is a fragrance that has chocolate from this brand, but it's discontinued. And I wanted to put some things on here just in case you guys wanted to check them out. You could. And the way that you do that, of course, click products down in the corner of this video. because I link as many of these fragrances that I can find for a good price to the video. So click products and check it out. But this one from By Killian is phenomenal for Valentine's Day. This is called Back to Black. All right, guys, this next fragrance is kind of a bonus, but everything about this screams sex appeal. And I told you guys when I talked about this fragrance before, this leaves nothing to the imagination. When you wear this, she knows what time it is. Let's just put it that way. He is here and he's on a mission. And this fragrance is pure, unadulterated sexiness. The fragrance has been coined or given the term, the title, the Predator. Go figure. From the brand of Roger Parfums, Parfums de la Nuit, #1, AKA the Predator. All right. This is a beautiful amber labdanum clove. There's a little bit of an animalic touch from civet in this fragrance as well. And again, I cannot describe this other than this smells like sex in a bottle. So do yourself a favor. It is expensive. Get a sample. That's all you need of something like this. You need 10 ml. It'll last you forever because it performs like a complete monster on the skin, but it screams and exudes sex. Check this one out from the brand of Roger Parfums. Parfums de la Nuit, #1. All right, guys, for the next fragrance, we're going back to back with Roger Parfums. Another perfect Valentine's Day fragrance. I wore this like 2 weeks ago. This is a beautiful fragrance and it does not get enough talk. I think it's discontinued, but you can still kind of find bottles of this out there. Again, if I can find it, I'll link it. Fellas, wear this on Valentine's Day. Trust your boy if you can find this or a sample for Roger Parfums. This is called Ti Amo. Ti Amo, this stuff, this is good. This is cacao. This is rose. This is cinnamon. This is, oh man, this is good. Rose, cinnamon. I think there's some kind of this earthy, almost powdery kind of note of carrot seeds in this as well. This is fantastic. Jesus, guys, this is so good. I can't explain how good it is. The cacao here, or give that chocolate nuance, but it's not like overly sweet and chocolatey. And it has the signature Rosia florals in there to really balance this out, so it's not like an overly sweet kind of scent profile. But you got the perfect balance of roses and cacao that gives that chocolatey kind of powdery feel to this. This stuff is gorgeous. It is absolute sensuality in a bottle. So check it out from the brand of Roger Parfums. Again, guys, highly slept on Ti Amo. All right, guys, I've talked about this fragrance before and termed it one of the best fragrances I've ever smelled, and I still feel that way wholeheartedly. And it's from the brand of BDK Parfums, and it is perfect for Valentine's Day. Tobacco Rose. Tobacco Rose. Plum, rose, chocolate, and patchouli. Man, guys, just smell it. Just smell it. This is so perfect. Again, another, of course, rose and chocolate fragrance, but I love the use of patchouli here. The patchouli is really what makes this super sexy, that with that plum note in the opening, and that's why I listed those four as for the primary notes in this fragrance. But man, again, I can't tell you how good this smells. It's almost like a gourmand rose fragrance. That's kind of sort of, you know, the best way for me to classify it. And it smells great on a date, on a sexy date night type situation. So check it out from the brand of BDK Parfums, Tobacco Rose. All right, guys, next up, this is a fragrance I've talked about before. Very easily one of the sexiest fragrances on the video, or on this list, I should say, from the brand of the Harmonious Hypnotizing Fire. Yep, Hypnotizing Fire is the perfect Valentine's Day scent as well, in my humble opinion. You have that pimento spice up top with rose, a paponax, and benzoin. And that allspice is really a clove, nutmeg, cinnamon kind of combination. Almost reminds me of the smell of potpourri. If you ever smell that back in the day, that's kind of sort of what it smells like to me. But of course, again, rose, there's smokiness from a paponax in here as well. And it's a little bit of a sweetness on the dry down as well. Just a phenomenal fragrance. Again, if you're talking about sexiness, you talk about date nights, it's hard for me to do a list like this and leave this fragrance off, because to me, that's what this fragrance was made for. Check it out from the brand of The Harmonist, Hypnotizing Fire. All right, guys, the next fragrance comes from the brand of BowTie Victorious. This one is called Ardent. This is Ardent. All right, and what you're gonna get here is a beautiful Turkish rose, a honey beeswax with coriander, and some nice ambery touches on the dry down. This fragrance, I'm sure you've heard by now, smells a lot like Tom Ford's Noir de Noir. The difference here, and which makes this to me even more sexy, is that honey beeswax note in here. Just does something to that Tom Ford Noir de Noir DNA that makes it even sexier. So again, it has the rose there, perfect for a sexy night out with the missus. So check this one out, guys, from the brand of BowTie Victorious. And this is one of their more, with better offerings as far as price point, one of the more accessible price points. But this stuff is fantastic, man. This is called Ardent. All right, guys, next up, if you want a little bit more of a fresher take on a rose fragrance DNA, this is going to be the perfect fragrance for you from the brand of Frederic Malle, done by the master perfumer John Claude Elena. This is Rose and Cure. Again, this is a fresher take on the note of rose because it has that geranium in here with rose, leather, and vetiver on the dry down. So again, I think a fresher take on a rose fragrance. So for those of you guys that like that more green kind of rose take on a rose note, this is going to be the one for you. But it smells great, especially when it dries down. It gets very masculine, kind of earthy. Again, that's why I mentioned those notes of vetiver on the dry down. Stuff is phenomenal. Oh, this is good, man. But check it out. I think, again, it'll make a great, date night fragrance for Valentine's Day. Rose and Cure from Frederic Malle. All right, guys, this next fragrance makes me think of the term sugar, spice, and everything nice. It's all in this fragrance. This has been getting massive amounts of compliments. And it just so happens that I think it's a great date night, Valentine's Day appropriate fragrance from the brand of Electimus. This one is called Caspian Cherry. Caspian Cherry. What you're going to get with this one, guys, is dark chocolate, cherries, coffee, and cinnamon as some of the main notes. And again, it has a lot of those notes that I've been talking to you guys about on this list. And they actually even threw in coffee, which really just blends well with the chocolate in here, and that amaretto is an amaretto accord in here as well. So again, just smells absolutely fantastic. One of those compliment-inducing kind of scent profiles. That's this right here. I think this is going to make a great one for Valentine's Day. So check this one out. This is called Caspian Cherry. All right, guys, a really, really sexy offering from the brand of Argos. This one is called Sacred Flame. Sacred Flame. Man, this is good, guys. This is tangerine, rose, orris, and tonka bean. Man, this is so good. You guys know how much I love Adonis Awakens from this brand. This is competing with that for my favorite now. Unique. The tangerine note in the opening is so unique. You get a nice hint of that orange kind of tangerine thing with the opening. A beautiful rose in here with those kind of gourmand touches. That's kind of the same way they did Adonis Awaken, although that was done with raspberry. It's kind of like they replaced the raspberry here with rose, but it kind of has that same effect on me. So they get the tangerine here, instead of the raspberry they did with Adonis Awakens. Oh, man, just something you got to put your nose on. Stuff is phenomenal, man, from Argos. This is a perfect Valentine's Day fragrance. So check this one out, Sacred Flames. All right, guys, one of the best rose chocolate combinations in fragrances in the game still. This is called Aurum. Aurum. All right, this is chocolate, rose, strawberry, and vanilla. Again, everything you need for a sexy date night for Valentine's Day. You got your chocolate, roses, and strawberries. And again, all my real G's know what time it is when you got chocolate, strawberries, and roses. Game time. Check this one out from, well, now it's actually with Xerjoff, but it's basically the same fragrance. I like this presentation better. I haven't smelled a newer one with the Xerjoff presentation, but this stuff is so good, man. I really only do this like date nights and especially Valentine's Day. This one is called Arm. This stuff is phenomenal. All right, guys, and last but not least, a kind of sweet treat, if you will, from the brand Unique Luxury. This is Chocolate Makes Me Happy. All right, from Unique Luxury, this is cacao, dark chocolate, caramel, sandalwood are some of the main notes. Again, the combination of a cacao chocolate gives like kind of the extra chocolate kind of feel, but although the cacao is a little bit more of a powdery essence that you get here more than just a chocolate. The dark chocolate is not overly sweet because it's a dark chocolate. So it's not as sweet. It has a little bit of a bitter kick to it as well. But this stuff is phenomenal on Valentine's Day. I think you and your date will enjoy it. From the brand Unique Luxury, Chocolate Makes Me Happy. But that's all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'll link as many of these to the video as I can. So if you're going out on Valentine's Day and want to check one of these out, you'll be able to do so. As always, I sincerely appreciate you guys' time and your attention to these videos. I know you guys don't have to watch what you're doing. I sincerely appreciate that. Now, don't forget, guys, take a few moments to like, comment, and subscribe. Please make sure you're sharing these videos out to some other folks out there that you think could use the information or find it entertaining. Because I'm your guy, Darren. I'm the BowTie Fragrance Guy. I love to look good. Of course, I love to smell fantastic. So until next time, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.